All right, you guys, we got another live stream. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Okay, we have the deceivers and the deceived. We, the whole nations, are the lost found members of the black nation in America, must remember that for the past 400 years we have been weared by the enemies of our fathers. According to their own history writing, bringing us up from our native lands and people into the Western hemisphere, it was not for the purpose of making themselves friendly people to us or our nation, but to deceive us as being that which they actually was not a friend and advisor to us. While at the same time, after 400 years, a surge of God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is to make manifest this arch deceiver work against us and to equip us with the nature of the arch deceiver, that deceits is part of his very nature. So we know Revelation 12:4, there was a newborn, and there was a woman that was carrying that newborn. And that newborn was to make his presence felt, to be amongst God's people. And you see, after 600 years, the devil being here of evil, who had freedom for the past 6,000 years to deceive not only you and me, but also the entire nation of the earth. This is the greatest starvation that God Allah could bring to you and me, to know the source of our trouble and cause. The power of the manifestators is to remove this cause which has affected the black nation for 6,000 years. Now, Daniel of a very well-known beast. See, he's talking about a beast that will rise from the sea, and out from the sea, this beast had 3 ribs in his mouth, meaning that the black man and woman was swallowed for centuries, ever since the devil been here. See, it's worth the heaven and earth to us when we agree on not trying to make them our friends, which by nature they cannot be, even if they wanted to. Only few have the brief of our predicament and position makes us the victims of deceits of these great scientific deceivers, the right race. They put us to sleep as babies, and they know the type of noise that awaken that sleeping baby. The noise is that which Allah and the person of Master Fala Muhammad has made, and he Allah has missioned me to continue to make that noise until all our people are fully awakened from the slumber of the arch deceivers of the nation of the earth. Surely not all are really working to keep us blind, deaf, and dumb to the knowledge of the arch deceivers, but the few who will help us and help us. As you see, the Christian priests in Milwaukee who profess to be trying to help those who want to live next door, and the house of our children, of our father's slave masters, having trouble. Even this easy can be classified as a deceitful work against truth, freedom, justice, and equality for our people. This priest is having trouble amongst our open, victorious haters of you and me, of his kind. This priest wants to help the poor black man here, especially in Milwaukee, to accept false friendship, to forever be at their mercy, to rule spiritually, economically, and politically. He is not trying to teach the black man that they should not want to sell themselves back to their slave master for a morsel of pottage. The priest knows by the scriptures in his Bible that the time is right for the total freedom of the 400-year-old slave of the white man to go to his own earth. The priestess rise to you, that you shall have a place to live wherever you want. You will not have dare taste this openly before this day and time, the end of this world. The others are so evil and, and victorious to do us harm. That great gang of white people out in the streets will attack that one poor black man going through the area in his car and will yell, "Get!" This is a coward action of the white man in America ever since we have been here. You always want 100 whites to attack that one Negro. This shows cowardice and savage of this white race against black people. The black man could put a stop to such attack of this evil force. But it's not the way of Allah God. It's not the way of the prediction, as the priest knows. The coming of Allah and search for this black lost member of the nation today is to remove this white man. Now, the weapons against which they have no defense. He Allah will bring the attack of divine judgment of the world without the use of contrived weapons. The weapons of war used by God and past history of destruction of enemy people, blacks people, and most people are example of what we see today. The weapons are the force of nature against which we have no defense. America is under such divine attacks now and storms as rain, hail, and earthquakes. The latter is yet to take place. We see a terrific drought is on its way to against America. The books must be fulfilled to bring victorious America to her knees. See, America hates the people of God, and the Negro do not know that they are really the people of God. This is the great truth, that you must come into the knowledge of that. You are a member of the families of God, and not the members of the family. Black is of his God himself. We have been deceived of righteousness, justice, and equality by the art deceivers. We have been taken for the knowledge of self as being a true people of God, and that God is present, seeking us to place us again into the orbit of divine supreme being, where we can rotate in submission to the will of God as the entire universe is doing, except the right race. We cannot set up a better government for our people by using the corrupt political activities of this people, the art deceivers. All of their work was based upon not to bring them into a friendly brotherhood and prosperity. All freedom, he's still against you going free. See, this is your trouble today. You are deceived and deceived by an enemy you think is a friend. But take notes of what he's offering you. He's offering you only a temporary enjoyment and not a permanent enjoyment for your people. We want some earth and not a temporary room in the house of our enemies. Let the political and spiritual leaders unite on such a stand as getting some earth for the people and not our responsibility for self. We must bear our own responsibility. This the God of justice and truth will force you to do before he will be defeated. His purpose and aim is to unite us to our own. He will fight the arch deceiver with the force of nature and with his own wisdom, which has no equal to make you an enemy bow to his will. This is the judgment of the world, especially of the white man in America. We have been here for 400 years, living between the two oceans. The slave is deprived of freedom to do as he pleases, but to do as the slave master pleases. Our great They will never teach you and me to do good for self, only under their own power and dictatorships. What we need is to unite, not demanding and marching all over the countries to live near the white man home, but demand a separate place for us in this country and to help us with the means of civilization as he has to get started, limiting the time to get started within the next 20 or 25 years. Too late for this demand because of the anger of God against America for evil done to us. But Allah has power over all things, and He does that which He will to do. It is up to America if she wants to help us. It would be a great one or nation. God of justice will grant them a reward for doing such, as no good act goes without its reward. They deceive the so called Negro under temptation, filth, and the promise that they will be given jobs and new homes next door to them in the same territory which their very nature is against, and which we want something permanent. Give us a few of these states to live in to ourselves, which we have well earned with 400 years of free labor. When you see that his life and your life are at stake to try to accept the present plan filled with deceits, the Negro, both you and he, will welcome the opportunity to agree on that kind of program. Unite with far and wide. Ever since the creation of Adam and Eve, there have been such time as we are witnessing today with the worst yet to come. There is no peace amongst the nations of earth. The only few people who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God. Though they are persecuted from city to city, falsely accused and denied the credit due them, and their millers are the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous, for the righteous sake, by the evildoers of the world. God is despised and rejected. Evil is accepted, and honor, justice stands afar off, and equity cannot come in, said the prophet Isaiah in the Bible. The Holy Quran went far and wide, and the day of God's presence at the end of the satanic world to bring it to nothing. Allah God causes the evil world to be upset, since they are the enemies of peace and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who have brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy of the prophets. So I caused this evil world to be upset, since they have been the enemies of peace and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who have brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy of the prophets. But they reject all Jesus charged them with, being the murderers of the righteous from Abel. Today, America professes to be the most Christianized country on our planet, but actually she is not. For Christian means to be Christianized into one spiritually. That one refers of the wicked as a crusher. The name actually means one who is anointed. The real satanic people are the right race, who have discussed themselves to deceive the black people to follow them. They just use the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They have set up a head for their religion in Rome, Italy, with a Pope Father who represented himself as being the intercessor, meaning one who is second only to Christ or God to intercede. This false should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great of Islam, Allah God in person. These are the days of God, of Christ's presence to destroy this evil world with all deceptions. God has upset the devil, who had and exercised total control over the world under falsehood, and had made evil before display such madness as they do today. And since they cannot hide their will wickedness and deceitful ways, they are angry. According to the preaching and teaching of Christianity, they prophesied that they alone will be the happy group and that will welcome the coming of the Messiah, the Christ. But the Bible condemned them, that they was angry and sought to hide their face from him, God. It should be clear to you today that Christian America does not want such preaching as entire submission to the will of Allah's Islam. The Christian hate the very prophesies that they will hate you for his God's namesake, for having one of his names, because the name God are to live forever. No, the name of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. So the coming of just one make manifest to you this evil race of sinners, and they will be against his God's presence and be angry because of him, and will seek to destroy him and his messengers, as it is prophesied in second Psalm. Every nation hath a turn, and every nation hath a turn. So when a turn comes, they cannot remain behind the least while, nor can they preside. Holy 7:34. There was a term for the people of Noah, Locks, and Moses. This also holds truth in the life and death of individuals. All is under the control of Almighty Allah, especially when a divine beginning and ending have been appointed for the accomplishments of certain work that must be done by a life of people. The above chapter and verse of the Holy Quran is a warning to the present nation, whose term is now coming to an end. If we know what is said to us, what is written by the prophet for us to read, study, and plan over, if we understand, we shall not fall victims to misunderstanding. He is heedless of the truth, for he is ware by the slave false appearance, who is his enemy, the right race, calls him to become heedless. It was the intention to the truth, as himself was and is. This the enemy was for the black man America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb, in many instances as dead. This is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and to restore us to life mentally. Children of the father slave masters who took our life mentally are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since 100 years have elapsed from the time of the slave fathers, the children are wiser and educated, more method to keep this black man America blind, deaf, and dumb. The white slave master did not even give them good food. Today you can buy good food if you had them. The white slave master will offer a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit, a little butter on it, to the so-called Negro as an introducement for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all of the other slaves on Sunday morning. The slave did not have the theology of the scriptures. He made his other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. Of today, as you can see, they preach for reward for both whites and blacks. I have tried them for many years. They are as their fathers were, desired the exhortation of the white man. So they want him to give them better position. And they will offer to cut off their heads of their black brothers if it would please their masters. Neighbors, I do so for the purpose of proving that I can live in their neighborhoods just as cleanly and noisily as they do, licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when he is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you coming into their block, beating your wife or girlfriends, and drinking in front of the house. No decent, intelligent person like this, where he is white as snow, jungle, and you will not want this. Late at night, he and a gang of monkeys will come out and beat you up. The American so-called Negro have been made out of himself and kind by white Americans. We must now be, and Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant actions because he had become a part of ignorance. Now the end of the term which was set for the white man have come. The average so-called Negro, the lost found members of the black nation does not know that this is the end of the world of the white man. He will not listen to one of his own kind who tells or teaches him of the time and doom of the world that we have known, white man's world. They offer high position and money to the so-called Negro, intellectual, politicians who work against the good of the black American people. They were set such, for they have been deprived of love for self and kind. What do they care about the millions who are splundered in the mud of civilization? You see, they are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and the fried chicken as they slave fathers did. You would not think that they would hide themselves out to be stool pigeons. White man, they do not want the praise of God and their own black people. They want it from their slave master children. Slave master children will give it in kind and worship the white people. The white man is very clever and making a public fool of the black man. They show the brown and yellow and red man what a good job they have done on the black man in America. I do not blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. It is the nature of the white man to make a fool of our people, but it's not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. When you have been given the knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God created you, you still allow the enemy to make a fool of you. Then you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous, not the knowledge. The divine term that was given to the white race to allow them to make a fool of the black man and rule him with tricks is now up. He was given this chance to deceive you with his trickology, and therefore God will not hinder the devil from tricking you if he can. This is written In the Holy Quran, chapter 7, but God promised hellfire for both the devil and his followers we can get from the black nation. Therefore, you and I, after the knowledge of the devil, his tricks, his terms, should not blame anyone but ourselves if we allow the devil to trick us. For that is the job of the devil. It is means you lust for his have new women and thirst for whiskey and beer. You desire gambling, robbing, and killing others for the personal properties of others. This is the work of the devil upon you. You do not have to allow him to cause you to live such a life. See, do not blame him, blame yourself. See, we blame ourselves and not the enemies. See, the black man always lusts for his have new women's and thirst for his whiskey and beer. See, you desire gambling and robbing, killing. See, this is the work of the devil upon you. See, my brothers and sisters, you do not have to live such a life like this. See, do not blame them. Blame your foolish self. You see, it always have been the policy of the white man to usually leaders. Look at history. You see how he had deceived and killed off the black leaders in 14 countries, lands, and then they took over themselves. Today, this should be a lesson for you and me. See, we the Muslims have watched our people who have come amongst us as eyes and ears and stew pigeons for white folks when they have become converted to the truth and join us to confess the perishable dollars from a race who time have come to end. You know what the white man will say? He says, nigga, now you should be better off with your kind with this job. You should be happy now because you are better off with many of your kind with this job. Black politicians are set up. So the white man give you some crumbs who time has come to end. We know that the white man is our enemy. Whenever we are, he offers some silly so-called nigga, where he be a Baptist, Methodist, Holy Roller, or Sanctified. Some lazy so-called nigga will work against him for the white man. It is shame in such modern time to see black politicians and preachers accepting positions to work against their own black people for a few dollars from a race whose time have come to end. We are justified in taking it. The way, but we are not justified to sell our life for such a gift in this day and time. So declare yourself a Muslim and see how much the devil will give you. He would say we will give it to you if we preach that we are not devils. And we should answer that it's just the same if we do not teach the truth of me. So I can continue to deceive the world of your kind, I will help you. Now, remember what the Bible teaches us, that Satan said to Jesus, all these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me. Matthew 4:9. And you show him the kingdoms of the world. Now, when you see the American designers and manufacturers factors it from the right race. But they want to tell the world that I'm the guide. But the guide to what? Because they lead you into filth and evil. See, they put dresses on males and turn them out partly. See, Jeremiah 6:14, to dress the hearts of our people as though it's serious. See, peace, peace, they say, when you see there's no peace. Peacemakers, as though they want all the world to be at peace. Mischief makers, peace breakers. See, my brothers and sisters, perhaps you will be off of the world of the wicked pretty soon. If so, the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the whole world and lose his own life soul? This is a warning to the preachers now. The little money with its dying value will not help you against God's aim and purpose, or the resurrection of the dead, lost, found members of the nation. See, you should, for he calls innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell. And the sad thing, the preachers are going to be the first ones to be judged, because God's going to see how you keeping it. See, what profit a man if he gains the world now and lose his own life soul? See, this is a warning for the preachers now. So how hard it is for the rich man to enter into the kingdom, then from the camel to go to the eyes of a needle. See, there was a rich man that came to Jesus and says, good teacher, what must I do to inherit the kingdom? Sell all you have and give to the poor and come follow me. The man that was very wealthy didn't want to give up his possessions. Notice that he went away from Jesus. Face was downcast because he had so much wealth. See, I want to give you the Luke chapter 16. There was another rich man, said, I will build barns and build new homes and houses. And what God says, you stupid fool, you thought you can buy all these things in this time. You see, your life will demand you. Because this man's saying that I will build bigger crops and barns, because what he had, he wanted more in these times. So now we have Allah, God came forth in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. The Son of Man, as it is written, seeking to save that which was lost, and to restore it again, that which have gone astray. He said to me that he will eat the rattlesnake to save our life, and that he will walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach just one in order to save his life in exchange for safety. See, I have taken him for my God and my Savior. I advise you to do the same, regardless of the offer of money, which is fast becoming worthless. See, Jesus refused the money and dwelt upon the truth that is written, that we must not worship Satan. See, Satan places behind us and not in front of us. It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. The Bible, Revelation. It is written that you accept the enemy and go down with him. Read the following passages of your Bible with Joe on the time of yourself now. These are the times America. Now, the American white people are more concerned today about mistreating that is attacking our America right out of the frying pan into the fire all over there due to her evil intention against her loyal black one slaves. Her talk of evil doing against this black one slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations you see today that are trying to attack and destroy her countries. Why America have more hatred for the black one slave and her millers who are faithfully fighting on the frying line, their enemies, than she is against the enemies that they are shooting down. See, white America talks of building concentration camps, prison house for the black one slave, the black man in America. I'm told that America already have concentration camps built for this purpose. See, concentration camps are jailhouses, prison houses. So this is why I cry day and night to my black brothers to seek refuge in Allah, God, in such a time as this. The Muslims do not have to worry about any such imprisonment, for the Muslim is already a citizen of the Nation of Islam, and we have our own by the order of God. This is why it's so necessary that the black man in America accept Allah, God, and His name, and get out of the names of the white slave master who does not seek to bring about peace for us, but enemy seeks to bring about our death. This is why it's so important that you get out of the names of your slave masters and be given the original name of Almighty God. See, when you are a direct descendant from the Creator, see, He's named you Bash. He's named you Fish. Well, Bash, what is that? He's calling you a fish. He named you Edward, Tom, Edward. See, I can argue all day long that the white man don't have no heaven for you. Hell is his appointed place, and he's ready to take you there. But God is trying to take us into heaven. See, the white America wants her black slave to suffer today that which is not due to this black slave. See, the black slave has not sinned, nor has this black one slave attacked other nation, except under the orders of his white slave masters. See, independency since 1776, you black men have been worshiping the 4th of July, along with the real authors of the 4th of July, the white man, as a day of independence for themselves. So ever since 1492, Christopher Columbus found America, they started the declaration of these constitutions. And see, in 1776, they didn't write in these constitutions for the black or brown. See, Martin Luther King, during the night of the filibuster, says that they would deny black and brown voting rights. So this is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as a day from any other foraging source. Now, the history of the 4th of July shows that it is the independent day. The white man did not put anything in the Declaration of Independence for the benefit of the black man, who is the servitude slaves of the white man at that time. The joy which the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor, and a day which this white man had set aside for celebration. It is all the black slave was rejoicing over. that he did not have to work that day. But you are free now, and you not need this for an excuse for your worship of the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the ganging of the white man's independency. Let us take a look again at our own black independency, how it came on the same day of the 4th of July at the coming of Allah God, who came in the person of Master Flah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Flah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, on July 4th, 1930, the coming to us on the Independence Day of the white man is very great. It is their day of great rejoicing. The destruction took place when it was at the height of their rejoicing. The kings, according to the Bible history of him, we see Daniel chapter 4 was walking around in his palace and proudly looking around and admiring the skills of the work he has set up, and says, "Has not all this my hands have made?" The Bible teaches us that while the word was in his mouth, the ink to a mind and heart of a beast, he had the brain reaction of a wild beast. It was cast out amongst the dumb. What does that signify? It gives us a gleaning into the history of the white man and his being cast out in society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago, after he was made and then started trouble amongst the people of righteousness. What was called at that time. So Allah God taught me, the name was changed to Europe, after the white man was cast to that area. See, Europe means a place where people are bound in to keep them out of society of the righteous. Moses made white men as the independent race through the guidance which are their savage cage life, and put him on the role of conquest of the black man. For 400 years, the white man swallowed us, the black man of America, up. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He set it bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything other than what this white man was teaching our black slave fathers. This caged us in and made just as secure a cage as the literal cage of Europe that the Arab people put the white man in. 6 the white man over his opponents for the Western hemisphere. He wrote his constitution for his own white people and not for his own black slave. Since this is his day which he has set aside for himself, then what part black brothers do you have in this day? Your part is not mixed with his part in a way of his own white politics and physical independency.